Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our next tutorial. We'll be talking about collars and stuff in the next series of videos that I'll be showing you. So we're going to learn how to do just a basic collar. Now, this is an idea of what a basic collar looks like, and hopefully you can see this good. This is on one of my work shirts, and it kind of looks kind of crappy. But anyway, it's just a basic straight collar. There's nothing special going on the edge, and there's nothing special going on here. The only thing that is a little different than the one we're going to be learning is this little extra part right here. Oh my gosh, you can't even see that. So let's go down. Okay. Only thing that's a little different about the collar is right here. This extra pattern piece that they made right here. And this is actually a separate piece, and it's sewn into this, and they've actually cut this as a seam line. So this isn't top stitched onto it to give it more stability. This is just an extra piece. I mean, it's not the best workmanship, you know, in the world, but, you know, I guess at least they tried. But anyway, so we need to do a couple things before we start learning how to make that basic shirt pattern, or the basic collar pattern. Okay, first we need to take our basic bodice, if you have one, and we need to measure the front neck, and we need to measure the back neck. Now, I use a little technique that helps me because I get distracted easy sometimes right in the middle of when I'm measuring, and I need to be able to go back to it at a moment's notice and be able to start where I left off instead of having to measure it over and over and over. So, simple thing that I do is I make little half-inch marks, and I'll do half-inch, 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 all the way until I get to the end. And if there's less than a half-inch left when I get to the end, then I'll just write on it what is left. So like on this one, it's 3/16 of an inch left, and this 3 is just saying that this is my 3rd inch. Okay, so then once I do that, I'll just write on it back neck equals 3 3/16 inch. And I did the same thing on my front. And I did front neck equals 5 inches. So I did all of that. This is a good example of when you have an even number of half inches, or an even amount of half inches. So I went through, and then right here at the end, you can see I just kind of drew a catty corner, or diagonally coming out of the corner, the last half inch to show that it's even. And I wrote a 5 on it because that is the 5th inch right in the corner. So this is perfectly 5 inches on the front. So we need to know this information. So let's get ready to make our collars. Now, for this illustration, I am just using notebook paper because you can see it better. You can use notebook paper too, or you can use regular like pattern paper if you have it. But this notebook paper, like I said, we can see it easier, and it's a what else? And they're not big pattern pieces, so I don't really need this big hunk of paper, and don't need to cut into your good pattern paper if you don't want to. So I use 2 sheets here, so we're going to use 2 sheets of pattern paper, and I folded it in half, just like this, and then I took it and I just kind of wetted the end, or made the edge of it wet just with my tongue or whatever. I got that from when, I think it was when I was in the 3rd grade. My music teacher, I think his name was like Mr. Kemp or something. He was pretty cool. But he, that's how he tore his pieces of paper. And you see, amazingly, I remember that to this day. So anyway, so there's that. Next thing we're going to do is we need to take our see-through ruler, and we need to mark off a ½ inch from the bottom. That way we won't have to figure out how we're going to fit our seam allowance on our collar because we've made it too close to the edge. So this way we won't make it too close to the edge. So draw a 1/2 inch on 2 of the sheets. The other 2 sheets we will use later on when we get ready to do our undercollar, which has to be made slightly different, just slightly, but it's basically the same pattern. Okay. But yeah, collars are so easy. Pattern making in general is easy. You just have to be particular about your measurements. When we're particular about our measurements, pattern making is so much easier for us. Okay, so now, and once again, I'm going out of, my trusty Pattern Making for Fashion Design book. It's an awesome book. It helps me do so much. And the book helps you get a lot of basic stuff done, and sometimes it gives you ideas of different designs. And that way, we can think better. But a lot of the basic stuff gets us closer to a design that we need to accomplish by giving us basic foundations to use to make our designs. So, okay, first thing we need to do, we already have this line here, and we're going to use this as a squaring line. So it should already be square, but you can check it. That's part of us being particular. We need to check it. And actually, is it? It is square. Okay, cool. So, that's square. Then what we need to do, I'm going to scoot us over. I don't like working right on the crease of this table. Okay. Move over. Grab our pencil. Okay. So we are going to measure 3 inches up the side of both of our pieces. We're going to be making these pieces at the same time. So measure 1, 2, 3 inches. Okay. Same thing on this other piece. Okay. Now we're going to do like the book. We're going to label this B in this corner. And we're going to label this A, the 3-inch mark up that we made. Okay. Now first we're going to make a simple one that doesn't require a whole lot of pattern work. Really simple. Now we need to go out on this line the measurement of the total neckline. So my front neck is 5 and my back neck is 3 3/16. So I'm gonna go out, what is that, 8 3/16. Let's see, 8 and 1, 2, 3. We need to be particular. If it's 3/16, make it 3/16. There are certain things, and you'll learn, the more we do patterns, the more we learn, where we can be lenient on our pattern making and not have to follow the measurement exactly. But anyway, so we did that. We're going to label that C. This is going to be our center front. Okay. Then from here we can measure, okay, from the center front, what? From the center front, 5 inches. Okay. So our front is 5 inches, and then when we remeasure our back should be 3 3/16 inches. Okay, so that's right. So look at that. We can label this D. We are going to end up putting a notch at D so we can see where our shoulder is, because that's where our shoulder is. This is the center back. This is the center front. Okay.